pull me in. I've had enough. Love me back. I'm generous. I'm generous. I'm generous. Slow it down. You're dangerous. Pull me in. I've had enough. Love me back. I'm generous. I'm generous.
Welcome. Can you guys see me? Can you hear me? I'm so glad you're excited, Vanessa. I am so excited too. I'm so excited to show you guys this. Hello. Welcome in. Today, I'm going to be talking about a Notion template that I created called Weekly Power Moves. Sacred CEO dashboard. Anyway, it's where I track my weekly power moves, and I can't wait to tell you about this. Does anybody else use Notion? Awesome. Thank you, Vanessa. So let me tell you a little bit about my Notion story before we get started, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you the sheet. So I had got a Notion at one point in time. I think I was taking a TikTok course and they offered a Notion dashboard. I still have that in my Notion, actually. And I used it and I thought, this is kind of stupid. I don't get Notion, and I never used it again. So I am someone who has had zero experience with Notion for the most part. Like, not zero, but not much. I definitely didn't know how to create on Notion. I didn't know how to use Notion. It just hadn't been something I used. Oh, awesome, Vanessa. You don't know about Notion either. Well, let me tell you what, in the past couple of weeks, if I could have talked to my past self, I would be like, why the heck are you not using Notion? Now that I know all about it, I was like, hi, James. I was like, why are you, I was like, how come I never use this? This is such an amazing tool. So anyway, I'm going to tell you a little story about how I came to this. So as part of my work on Etsy and my work in the vault, I'm constantly trying to create trending products for Etsy, for the vault, not just because it's trending, right? But because that's what people want. This is what people want right now. This is what people are asking for. This is how I can help people tangibly in their business. So I have always, for a long time now, prioritized creating things that are trending. Now, I took that a step further last month. In February, I uploaded a trending report that I get from, one of the memberships that I'm in. I uploaded it to my ChatGPT and I said, how can I translate some of these trends into spiritual business owners? Because honestly, most of them aren't. The trend report that I get does not have spiritual business on it, really. But I'm like, how can I translate this for my clients? Like, what in this document could be useful for them? And one of the things it said is business dashboards on Notion. And so there were 2 suggestions. I have created both of them now, but there were 2 suggestions on that trending list for Notion dashboards. And so I was like, okay, fine, cool, I'll do it. Notion is a thing I get before a concept. Yeah, Notion is amazing. So anyway, I had no idea how to make a Notion dashboard, right? I never truly used Notion. And so I used it as a teaching moment in our design call. So if I don't have any design requests, or if I'm done with the design requests in our design call in Sacred Vision Society, I just work on one of my things, one of my projects. You guys can watch me work. We can chit chat while I work. I'll kind of walk you through my process, my thinking. You guys just get to see me create if I don't have any feedback to give during that call. And usually that call is anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. So anyway, this was a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, okay, today I'm going to teach you how to create something when you have no idea what it is that you're creating, and how you can even get started with that. Because I've heard so many people in Sacred Vision Society, and I know people in Sacred, the SVS Creator Vault probably feel the same way. As like, how can I create something without like steps or knowing how? If I've never done something before, how do I do it? And so basically what I did is I jumped on AI and I said, I would like to create this dashboard. Can you help me? I've never used Notion before. So I think this is part of it, right? You have to give the AI lots of context. You have to say, I know nothing about this thing, so I need you to really break it down for me. And it did. It was like, it like broke down every single little step. And by the time I was done creating this dashboard, I had a really good idea as to how to use it, because I basically just trained myself through AI, right? And then, I went to go create a second one, and I have finished that one too. If you guys want to hear about that, I'll make a little time to talk about that if you guys want. I created a client portal dashboard after that, which was way more in depth. By the way, I learned some more Notion skills at that point. And then I was really frustrated the night that I made the big client portal. And I was like, I have too many ideas, because I had done that in February and March for my Vault ideas list. I had so many things. It was so much. I was like, I can't hold all this. I need some way to organize it. So I'm like, I'll create a Notion for my Vault ideas. And so I created my very first Notion by myself without AI. But it took creating 2 whole Notion dashboards before I understood enough to be able to conceptualize how to do it in my head. Now, also, I want to say this final product that I have that I'm going to show you today looks nothing like what AI told me, because what I did is I'd say, well, this doesn't make sense, or this doesn't make sense. Well, how do I make this my own? Like, how do I make this fit in with my teachings? And that's one of the things that we have to do too. When we're working with AI, we have to recognize that it's going to give you fairly generic answers. And then you have to figure out how to merge that into the way that you teach and the principles that you have. And so my principles are baked into this, which is what makes it so cool. And so while I was just building a Notion dashboard for my students for the trend, I was like, I need this. I want to use this. I've used it ever since. I adapted it for myself. I'm going to show you guys my version, and then if you want, I'll pop to the template. I haven't made a ton of changes structurally to it, but I can definitely show you both. But in addition to showing you the Notion, I'm also going to talk about like how to use it. And also I have prepared a worksheet that'll help you do the same thing on a Google Doc if you're somebody who doesn't want to deal with Notion. Oh, you've seen ads to help people with ADHD? Yeah, probably. And I bet too that there's some ADHD adjacent Notion templates. One of the things on my trend was for like planners for neurodivergent people, ADHD planners. They are definitely some things that I might work on for the Vault as well. Because some of you in the Creator Vault might have audiences like that. Okay, so anyway, are you guys ready to see it? So first, I'm going to just kind of show you what's there, and then I'm going to walk through like how to use it. So one thing I haven't done is I haven't done like the weekly steps so that I could get some tasks built up so that it would like and also so I could kind of show you guys the process. Okay. So this is what it looks like. Like I said, this is my version right here, my version. So the actual template itself is a tiny bit different. But if you'd like, I can also talk about how to add things to make it your own too. So I can show you the things that I've changed and the things that I've made my own. So here we have our CEO compass. So what I like about this is it really allows you to ask yourself 3 questions at the beginning of your week. So this is when you're going to say, what are the 1 to 3 power moves that I need this week in my business? What gets seen this week? And what number tells the truth? What am I tracking, right? So I have a little start here section to give you a little bit of guidance to. And one of the things that I love about this, and you can put as many shortcuts as you want on here, but I actually put all of my really important things that I'm constantly opening. I don't know about you guys, but I have so many docs and so many sheets and so many everything that it gets crazy. And so I was running on a Google Doc dashboard that had all my links on it. And so I thought it would be really good to have those links here instead. So my AI message vault is like, if I'm talking to AI and I have a good idea, but I haven't done anything with it yet, maybe I just got some captions, but I don't know where to put it. I just drop it here in my AI message vault and deal with it later. That's been really, really nice for me. My funnel optimization, this holds all of my funnels, the weekly numbers, things like that. And so all you have to do is type in whatever the name of it is. So let's say I'm going to link in the Weekly Moves Worksheet. This is something I'm going to be giving you guys today, but I'm going to show you how to do it. The Weekly Moves Worksheet. So all you have to do is type in the name, go to the link of what you're storing, select your text, click on link, and paste it in. Just like that. Oops, it didn't take. Let's do it again. Click on the link, paste it in. I forgot to click. Alrighty, so now the Weekly Moves worksheet lives in here. If you want to change the color, like I did, you can click this little thing right here and you can change the color. And it looks like all of mine are bolded too, so I just use Control B anytime I want to bold something. It's a really easy little key. So you can have as many shortcuts as you want here. I really love this because then I don't have to hunt something down. I just come here to my dashboard and it's already there. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to do for your week is you're going to take a look at your tasks. So those of you who are familiar with like agile planning or task boards or Trello or something like that, this is very similar to your own personal Trello board right there in Notion. Something that I didn't understand about Notion is you get different views of the same data, which I think is super duper cool. So look at all those. So here I have this week's tasks. Now, a lot of these have come from over like the last 3 weeks because I haven't done any steps to get rid of this week's tasks. So when you're adding a task, you can choose what week you want it to be on. So one of the fields here for your tasks is a week. So you can choose between this week, next week, later, someday, archive, right? So if you want to do it this week, you're going to want to select this week here. And that's going to put it into the view for this week's tasks. The vault are things that are not done yet, but you don't know when you're going to do it. So maybe it's next week, maybe it's in the future. So the vault is for the future tasks. The archive is for the past tasks. And this table will show you all of them in a table view. So I've really loved playing around with these different views on my Notion dashboards and things like that. Setting up these views to really work for you and your own unique case is really important. So let's say today's Monday instead of Friday. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to archive all of the done tasks. So I can do that in a couple of different ways. I can just open all of these up and I can do archive. So selecting archive on the week with all of the things that are done. And then you also want to ask yourself, like, what did I plan to do last week that never ended up getting done? And I think it's really important to ask ourselves, I don't know why I didn't leave there. I might have to change the setting real quick. One of the things you might want to ask is like, why didn't it get done? Is it because something got in the way? Is it because I'm dragging my feet? Am I feeling resistance? So that's data, right? Not something to beat yourself up over, which I know some of us do, right? When we don't get something done that we wanted to get done. Let's see if those have come to the vault yet. Yep, right here. So now they're here in the vault. They should be in the archive. I have set up some things wrong. So the archive, are they at least going to the archive? Yes, they are. So my vault is set up wrong. So let's just change this filter. Like I said, I haven't done this yet, so I haven't had a chance to test it out. Okay, so now all of these tasks are in my archive. And we could do that with all of them. I'm not going to make you guys sit here while I do that. Also, these vault products have been finished, so they're technically in the done category as well. So I would move those over as well. I would ask myself, okay, if there are power moves that are still here, why are they still here? Did I not finish them? Why didn't I finish them? Because ideally, all of your power moves are going to move over to done at the end of the week, and you're just going to be setting new power moves every single week. So a power move is a move that it's a task that moves your business forward. So think about like defining your offer, defining the transformations for your offer, defining your offer positioning, maybe even like how does it fit into your overall offer structure, creating a promotion, creating a nurturing sequence, testing messaging angles, right? And so a lot of these momentum tasks for me have been sitting here, and then I'll move them over to power moves. So as soon as I think about something that will move the needle, I usually put it here in the momentum tasks for this week, just so I can see it. So like SVS power content, for example, that got done last week, this week. So anyway, just kind of checking on your tasks, setting new power moves, thinking about like, what does my business need for momentum, putting those in your momentum tasks, your admin, your maintenance. These are the things that happen on a regular basis. I tend to overtask myself. Yeah, me too. And sometimes that's okay. Sometimes it just means like, okay, I picked priorities and that didn't become a priority. Maybe it becomes top priority for this week, right? One of the things too, as I say, only 3 power moves, right? We don't want to overload this because we want it to be the most important step for our business. So one of the things that you can think about when you are deciding on power moves is, what's a bottleneck in my business? What is causing me the most pain? What is my biggest problem? Once you figure out your biggest problem, now you think of, okay, how do I solve this problem? What do I need to solve this problem? These become your power moves. So you want your power moves to solve your most important problem right now. So right now, you might notice my power moves all revolve around the SVS Creator Vault and the Sacred Vision Society nurturing sequence. So basically, you can tell just by my power moves that my focus right now is enrolling SVS clients, SVS Creator Vault, and Sacred Vision Society clients. And there's an upgrade process, right? So if you join the Creator Vault, you can then, even though it's a closed program, Sacred Vision Society right now, you have 48 hours to join Sacred Vision Society through an upgrade. So my goal right now, my primary goal in my business is this process. It's increasing enrollments into Sacred Vision Society. And you can tell that just based off of my power moves. You should be able to very easily tell what your goal is for the week when you look at them, right? What is the thing that's going to change your business the most? Make sure to bake that in here. Okay, any questions about this section, the weekly moves, guys, before I move on? By the way, I got coffee for this little power moves meeting. If you're in Sacred Vision Society and you don't know what to do for your power move, you may or may not have noticed, but I have been creating power move content. So if you are not sure about what your power move is, obviously you can bring it to, the coaching session, you can ask, but we have visionary power moves now. So these are really set up to be very quickly something that you can do nice and quick in a few hours in your business. So I'm dropping these little power move trainings as well. So you can feel free to snag one of these and add it onto your board as well. Okay, any questions, guys? Okay, so now let's talk about the offer suite tracker. This is something that you won't have to maintain after you set up. So I have 2 brands. So I did include this brand field on my Notion that is not on the template. Kind of like the Vault products, this isn't a part of the template either because it's specific to me. So I have 2 brands and I have laid out lead magnet, low priced offer, main offer, flagship, high tier for each of my 2 brands. I put the price here. I put the status here. If you ever had offers that you expired, if you moved it to retiring, you could create an additional view here. So let's say this is draft. And let's say I could add in one of my retired Magic and Intuition Mastery, which is part of the HPTS family. It's a flagship course. So I'm going to show you how to set up your views really quick. Okay, so let's go to flagship. I think it was $79 a month. And it is retired. I think paused is probably better of a word. So then one of the things that I really like too, I don't know about you guys, but I am constantly trying to figure out the links to things. So you can put your links to your offers here so that if you ever need them, you can just be like, bam, okay, but make it a comment, right? Like, this has been so nice, and I still haven't even fully filled this out yet with the links, but you can see I haven't put notes or anything here. But having these links has been really, really useful for me. Okay, so now when you're creating another view, all you have to do is go add. So we could do a board view, and we could look at the status. So here are all of my live offers. I have my possibly someday one-on-one container. I have my paused Magic and Intuition Mastery. So that's a way that you could look at them by category. And then you can name your view just like that. So now let's look at retired and paused. So let's just do, we'll just do the table. and then retired and paused. Table, done. So now in order to actually fulfill this requirement, we need to filter it to be status, retired and paused. And you can choose like lots of different things here. This is status is, but you can choose a lot of different, like it's not or it is. So now we have my retired or paused Magic and Intuition Mastery here. And then you can also do just active, right? So now let's just do active offers, done. And we're going to filter by the opposite, right? So instead of, we can do live, right? Status is live. So now let's go ahead and name this view as well. So now we have all offers. We have by category, we have retired and paused, and we have active offers. This is almost like an Excel sorting feature, but only maybe just a little bit cooler. What do you guys think? So anyway, this isn't something you would necessarily need to do a lot of work with. You just set it up once, and then anytime you have a new offer. So for example, let's say I decided to start offering a new freebie for my SVS brand, my SVS side of things. I would just move this to retired, and then I would create a new offer for my lead magnet to be my current lead magnet of the moment, right? Any questions on this, guys? I'm not ready to do anything like that. I'm trying to build passive income. Well, this is definitely how you build passive income. Well, as a course creator anyway. All right. Any questions before we move on? Okay, so for the promotion tracker, I think what I love about having the promotion tracker on here is it reminds me that I have promotions, right? But I don't necessarily plan them very well. So this is a way for me to kind of hold my promotions and a way for me to visualize it and to see where I am in the creation process, which I really like. So we've got the spring content refresh, which is something I'm going to be doing in 2 weeks. We've got the sacred CEO dashboard, which I am doing right this moment. The first part of it, I'm going to send out this this video. By the way, this dashboard is on sale on Etsy for only 1 week. It's going to be $10 off. So it's just a little promo here. So these are 2 promotions that I am going to be running in like right now and in the near future. You can put your start date, your end date, where you plan on advertising that promotion. We've got a primary channel, promotion type, goal, and status. And so you can also, by the way, connect these with the corresponding offer. So I marked these both as SVS Creator Vault, and this data comes directly from the offers. So one of the first things you want to do is set up your offers so that you can link them in to other portions of your dashboard. All right, so this is kind of what the card looks like. We've got your goal, your offer. We have person listed here. So if you are, passing it off to a member of your team, the platform, the channel, the start date, the status. And what I love about these cards too is you can put a lot of other information in there. I'm going to show you guys that in the content section as well. I think that it's actually really cool. Any questions about promotions? Let's move on to the content. So I think The TikTok content organizer had something similar to this, but now I know how to actually use it. So anyway, basically all you have to do is copy this template, and then you can set up your own content. Now, I do content in themes and drops. So I have multiple pieces of content on one card. Most people probably wouldn't have multiple pieces of content on each card. So I'm going to show you how to set up a card for just one piece of content, which is how most people are probably going to use this. But yeah, I'm a little extra and I'm running 2 brands. So I do have multiple pieces on one card. Otherwise, it would just take so much time to drop them all into a bunch of different cards. So here's the SVS content that we created for March 2nd. I have put here where I plan to post it. So I've got a blog, I've got Facebook and Instagram, and an email. So I usually do blog, e-blast, and posts. And I just cross-post on Facebook and Instagram. Content type, post, email, blog, goal, convert. And then I actually include my links to the content itself. This, I think, is going to be a game changer for me because I cannot tell you how much of the time I'm looking for the document or looking for the Canva file that contains this content. It drives me crazy when I have to look for these sorts of things, and I do on a regular basis. So basically, I just add in our planning doc for the content, and I also add in the link to the Canva so that I can easily grab one of my graphics, one of my captions, so I can take a look and see, like what's in it. I think that this is going to be really, really good when I start getting more intentional about repurposing content. Yay, got extra. Yes. So I've also added this little body section where you can add your captions, body text, and scripts. I don't use that in my bulk content, but I'm going to show you how you could use that for like an individual post. Okay, any questions about that? I'm going to show you how to create just one with this. We're just going to go ahead and duplicate this. And then here's how I would do just one piece of content. I would, let's go ahead and add the image for the actual piece of content. And I did download a graphic just for this. It was actually from the thing that we were just looking at. I figured I better have something to show you guys. So I like the covers because they look cute, but you wouldn't necessarily need to use them. And in fact, if you don't like the card view, you can always change it to a different view as well. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so this is a post, 90 plus items in the SVS Creator Vault. And then we're going to change this offer, not like that. I don't know how to go back now. Like this? No, that opens it in a full page. That is absolutely not what I was trying to do. Okay, let's just go here. Let's go back to here. That's one thing that's been really interesting too, is like you can come back to other pages from this like little top menu, which is nice. Okay, so let's get back in here. The SVS Creator Vault just hit 90. Okay, now click on the offer, but not the spiritual website template. It did it again. Can I remove it from here? Maybe? No. Basically what it's doing is it's opening that, and I don't want it to do that. Okay, let's go back. Okay, I'm going to have to do a view as a table. Sometimes you'll find this. If you have any difficulty with fields, a table can be really amazing. So sometimes even just creating a table view can work. Let's see if the delete button works. There we go. So I just click the delete button on offer. Now we're going to put Creator Vault. And then we can go back to all content. I don't want to be in here. I'm not trying to open it. Okay, so now it's added. Let's go back to all content. Okay, so now we have the right offer. Now it says SVS Creator Vault. So this isn't actually part of any of my promotions, so I don't have to select that. This went on Facebook and Instagram. It was a content type of post. It was actually a carousel. Okay. The goal is to convert people to the vault. The hook, I could put that in if I wanted. The CTA, I could put that in if I wanted. If I was going to plan, I would probably do that. Asset and links, I could link in the link to the Canva file again. Notes. But I think what I would probably do is I would just come in here. So here's the actual post. Milestone celebration, 90 plus resources. So basically, you could just take your whole caption and everything you'd planned and just pop it right in here like that. So yes, you can still put in your hooks, right? So like this is the hook I have on my graphic. I always include 2 hooks with my posts. Not everybody does that. But this would typically, anything on my graphic is a hook. I always make sure that there's one on the graphic itself. So you could always move that up into that spot. If you're ever like looking at that field later, you could have it. So that could be something good. So I would say right here, if you've been creating on your own with scattered tools and generic template, the vault was made for you. This is the call to action. So we're just going to pop that in here. And then I would probably link in the Canva right here and then save it. And so now someday in the future, if you're looking at it, if you're looking for things to repurpose, it's going to be there. Also, you can say when it's going to get published. So right here, publish date February 27th. I think technically it got published today. Didn't it say 3/13 on that page? I think it did. So let's go ahead and publish it today. And you can change what shows up on these cards too. And what I've done on the views is I've done past content is for over a month ago. Drafts are for things that you don't have a date in it for published, and all content. And by the way, I've messed up some of the filtering on mine. So anyway, any questions about content? So we have a few different views. We have all content, drafts, and past content. But past is only for like more than 30 days since you posted it. And you can always change that too. If you decided you want past to be like anything in the past, you can do that. Start date is before today. Any questions on that, guys? We've got monthly metrics for the entire year. I have not used this yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this section. I definitely see a use for it. There's something really nice about taking a look at all of your numbers and asking these questions. What grew, what sold, what stalled, what's the one change you want to make next month? Checking your metrics from a place of curiosity, not judgment, can be a really powerful practice. Something that I do on a regular basis is check individual numbers on my social media posts. I try to see what people are liking, what people are commenting on, what gets shared. I also use that data to decide which post to put a little bit of ad money behind. So metrics are great, and as long as we are looking at them from a place of no judgment, it can be really useful to have that. Any question on that, guys? You can just type anything in that you're wanting to track. So if you want to track TikTok subscribers and you want to track Instagram subscribers, it's really easy to add new lines in here. It's really easy to change what's already in here. So you can very, like, this is just like a regular Excel document type of, or Excel sheet type of, like, you can just type it in it, right? Very much text-based for this. Feedback loops are so good. Yes, absolutely. So, sitting down and just deciding, like, what do I want? What metrics do I want to track for myself? And editing that to really fit in for yourself. This isn't something I've instituted yet, but like I said, I've only been using the sheet for a few weeks. And then the last thing is the idea parking lot. So I love this because I have so many ideas on a regular basis, and then I write them on a notebook paper or a sticky note, and then, like, every few weeks I'm like looking at this pile of sticky notes all over the place, and I usually just throw them away. Anybody else do that? Is that just me? I've actually had dreams about sticky notes. So this is a way to hold all these ideas. These are the ideas that have been activated. So it's filtering for specific statuses. And that's it. So technically, what I love about this so much is it allows me to see the things that I'm working on. It allows me to see the things that I've gotten done. It allows me to notice when power moves don't get done. Am I not moving my business forward? Am I defaulting to admin tasks only? Is that what I'm working on? So it allows me to really clearly see my patterns when it comes to task management. It allows me to track my power moves, to think about what those moves are going to be, to think about what would help my business and track it. And it also helps me to store links. I think this is a big part of what I use it for too. These links here and these links here, having that is so nice. I definitely want to continue filling out my offer suite, my core promises, my notes. I think another thing that I can't wait about having this filled out is, how many times I'm working with AI, and especially when I'm testing out new AI systems to try to figure out exactly what's going to work best for my business. Do you know how many times I have to try to drop every single offer I have, and how frustrating that is and how much work that is, when instead I could just take a picture of this table and just send the picture? I love that. I want to have more built in so that AI would be able to understand my offers. So the notes and the core promises are a big part of that. But that is another reason why I'm really excited about this section here. Do you guys want to see the actual template? It's not much different than mine. I haven't made some huge changes to mine. But that way you guys see exactly what it is. Like I said, I am running a promotion on it. It's going to be $17. It's already in the SVS Creator Vault. So you have access to that right now if you are in Sacred Vision Society or the Vault. But yeah, it is on sale on my Etsy for 1 week. So here is the actual template. When you get a Notion template, all you have to do is click on the duplicate button, and you can duplicate it to your own Notion, and then you'll have it in your library, so you'll be able to use your version of it. It's actually quite easy. There's just a little duplicate button at the top of your screen when you go to the link. So here we've got the quick links. We've got power moves, momentum tasks, admin, and done. So like you can see, it's just like mine, except for mine includes the vault products. We have offer suite, lead magnet, low entry. If you're somebody who is new in your business, having these here can help remind you to create these for yourself, right? I don't have a high tier offer, but when it comes to having a sustainable business, you need multiple entry points into your business so that people can grow with you. The worst thing that I ever did when I was selling high tier coaching packages is I just tried to sell that. I didn't have any low entry offers. I didn't even have any mid tier offers. And so it was such a huge jump for people to go from paying me nothing to paying me, I don't know, a couple $1,000s, right? So when you create these lower tier offers that still help your client with their problems, with the problem that you help them solve, what you're doing is you are allowing an avenue for them to build trust so that they can upgrade into those higher tiered programs. And so this is a really important part of building a business. And I think that it's something that a lot of new business owners, myself included, miss out on. And when you build this intentionally from the start, you can save yourself years of work. Okay, and then you can see that there's no brand, but that's the only thing that I added to mine that's different from here. Here's the promotion tracker. Here's your new content template. You've still got all the same views. I might have changed the views a little bit. I don't think so. I think the views are all pretty much the same. And then we've got the monthly metrics and the idea parking lot. Any other questions, guys? Do you guys want to do some more Notion talk? Do you want to wrap up? I can show you the client portal too. It's also available in the Creator Vault right now. It's a little bit more in depth. And I have done a little bit of changing it for myself, but I haven't worked on it very much for myself yet. So let me know. By the way, I did create a sheet, if you're not interested in Notion, that will help you do all of the things that this Notion tracker helps you do on a weekly basis. You can use this weekly sheet. Go ahead and just type moves into the chat. And I haven't even checked Facebook comments, guys. There's no Facebook comments. Okay, good. Yeah, if you type moves into the chat, I'll go ahead and drop this in for you guys. And that way, if you are not interested in Notion, you can still track your weekly moves. You can still choose your outcome for the week. You can make a copy of this every week. You can make tabs of your weeks and keep all the tabs in one place, which would be kind of nice as well. Still be able to track things in a Google Docs sort of way. Yeah, you'd love to see it, the client portal. I feel like this is a good time to talk about it since I'm already live with you. For anybody who wants to use it, I can kind of show you and answer any questions for you too. So the client portal is a lot more involved. So whereas the CEO dashboard is one page with some mini pages kind of, that automatically get created through the Notion process. This is a very large portal. So basically, this is set up to help you manage your clients, manage your client sessions. It's like a little bit of a CRM. Oh, you guys are dropping moves. Okay, hold on. Let me get you guys this really quick, and then we'll start talking about this. Okay, here is the YouTube. I'm gonna see if nobody's over here on Facebook. Nobody's requested it. So, all right. So let's go ahead and get out of here. Okay, so this is a place where you can go and manage your clients' sessions, see what's coming up for your client sessions, see what check-ins still need to happen. You'll have an overview of your programs, your sessions, your next steps that you've assigned to your clients. This is actually very, very in-depth, and it includes a client portal template. So this is something you would send to your clients so that you could track things together and so that they have a bit of a portal. So I'm working with some people one-on-one in the CEO circle right now. And so I do want to adapt this for us, because right now I'm sending them these like crazy Google Docs that just have a bunch of stuff like pasted in. It looks like a chalkboard craziness. So anyway, I'm working with clients one-on-one right now. I have multiple of them, and we could really use this. So I'm really excited to have this, and I will be adapting this for them. But okay, let's look at the dashboard first. So the dashboard includes these tables from other sheets. So let me show you. There's a subpage, right, for programs, which have both the programs and the sessions that you offer. So in this example, I have put this into and baked it into here. This is not available on Etsy yet, by the way, but it is in the Creator Vault. So here we have a 12-week coaching program. It's one-on-one, it's active, and there's a bit of like a description. We've also attached a client. There are a lot of relations within this the several page document, or the several page Notion. So what's cool about it is you can link a bunch of things in together. So I can come here, I can look, and I can see exactly what clients are in my 12-week return to self program, right? I can see exactly what clients are or have taken one of my reading tarot packages. This is a group program. Here's a healing session, right? So these are just some examples that I popped in here so that you guys could, like see yourself in this. Obviously, when you get this, you're going to make it your own. You're going to take out the customers. You're going to put your own clients in. You're going to put your own programs in. So here's some sample offer sessions. So in this Return to Self program, I've created 2 weekly sessions. Obviously, you would have 12 weekly sessions, so you'd put all 12 sessions in here. I really thought about this as so the types of people we currently have in the Creator Vault are mostly tarot readers and coaches. And I've been both, which is great. I really understand how it works, right? So when I was creating this, I wanted very much for it to be compatible with somebody with a 12-week program, because if I had a 12-week program, I would want something that catered to that need. And somebody who just does readings, even if you don't sell packages, you could just make it perfect for a reading. That's actually easier, right? You just have one-off sessions. But I wanted it to be compatible for somebody who had a 12-week program. So you would put all of your sessions in here. I also have like a healing session and a reading. So I've kind of tried to demonstrate on how you would set this up for yourself when it comes to each of these. So like I said, all of these little links here go to their own specific sheet, right? So we've got sessions. So we've got 3 different sessions. We've got coaching sessions. These are actual sessions with your clients. Coaching sessions, reading sessions, Route to Rise. I tried to break it out into offer sessions. So these are sessions being offered, and sessions are actual sessions with your clients, to try to make it less confusing. So if you're planning on doing check-ins, you can mark that and it'll come up under your check-in tracker. Let's pop into the clients too. I think that this is really big because you could actually use this for leads in addition to clients. But here in the client section, we've got 2 clients set up. We've got Alara, who did a reading with us. We have Maya, who's an active coaching client. And so, yeah, you can look at your active clients, your past clients. You could also put leads in here as well, which I think could be really nice for lead tracking. We have assigned next steps. So these are the steps that you've assigned to your clients. You could always pop in here and see, like, have they done their next step? You can check into their portal, see, like, you could even include something in their portal, like a check mark where they complete a step. Completed reflections, open reflections, and all reflections. While we're in here, let's correct the spelling, huh? Alrighty, so the assigned next steps. Are any of you guys doing long-term coaching programs? Do you check in with your clients' next steps? This resources, huge. Huge, huge, huge. If you're somebody with a 12-week program, you should have 12 resources at the minimum. You have a resource for every single week that your client is with you. You might have multiple. You might have a meditation and a worksheet for week 2. I would definitely put the week in the title of your resource name, if you do. But you're likely going to have so many resources, and how nice would it be to have everything in one place? You can also attach which offer session it's attached to, right? So you could always go by session, and you can be like, okay, here's the two week ones. Here's the URL for the week 1, right? So you have those URLs right on hand. I think that this is huge and would be really, really necessary for 12-week clients. But, even if you're a reader, you probably have a lot of resources that you send to your clients based off of their needs. And so it's a really nice place where you can keep that. These are the upcoming sessions. Here's all sessions. So I'm back on the dashboard again. We've got check-ins and the setup guide. I'll go to the client portal after we look at the dashboard itself. So basically, all of these have their own page, and then I've created this dashboard, which has more limited view. So you'll notice this client view is smaller than the view here, because I took off some of the data that you might not want to see in a dashboard setting. So I tried really hard to think about like what I would want to see or not want to see. And by the way, you can always check to see what's being viewed or not being viewed. You can add them back in here. Let's see. Right here, I think. Oh, property visibility. So here you can see when you click here, you can see which ones have been hidden. So if you want to see the last session in your dashboard, all you have to do is click that to get it back. And then if there's something you don't want to see in your dashboard, you can just click to hide it. And that's the same for anyone, because the thing of it is when you click this, you're actually opening the card and you have all the properties, you have all of it right here. So you don't necessarily have to be using the table to type everything in and select everything. you can open the individual cards too. So you can always change what you see and what you view, but I have very intentionally hidden some of the fields to make this easy to look at on your dashboard. Okay, so programs, offer sessions, these are just basically pulling from those other pages so that you can see them in a dashboard style. Okay, any questions before I move on to the client portal? It is amazing, Vanessa. Like, this is so nice to just be able to look at all the sessions you have coming up, anybody you need to check in on, all of your resources in one place. This is exactly what I would have loved when I had a bunch of one-on-one clients. I still have 3, but it's pretty easy to track 3 one-on-one clients that I work with every 2 weeks. Yes, I wish I had this when I was first starting, right? Okay, any questions before I show you guys the client portal template? I'm going to show you how I set it up, and I'll also kind of talk about how I would set it up for different use cases. And if you guys really would like a very specific client portal template, if you'd like me to set that up for you, in the resource vault, you can always ask for resources. So you can request a resource in the SVS Creator Vault. You just fill out a simple form. You could say, I would like a Notion template for a client portal template. I want it to have this, that, and the next thing, and I can help you design it, and I'll put it in the vault. So feel free to, if you have a specific use case and you like me to help you design it, all you have to do is request it. Okay, I don't see any questions, so let's go ahead and look at the client portal template. When I was designing this, by the way, I do, like I was talking about at the beginning of this live, how I work with AI. I had to redirect AI on this client portal a lot because there's just things it can't know, because it's never worked with clients. It's never had a 12-week offer, right? Like, the original version of this wouldn't have accommodated very well somebody with a 12-week program. So I wanted to make sure that this did. Now, if you don't have a 12-week program, it can easily be modified. But so here you have your client name, your offer name, your start date, your practitioner. This is the page you're going to send your client. So you'll probably take this off and you'll probably put there maybe the name of your program up here. But you're going to have a master document. And by the way, I do talk about this in the setup guide. You're going to have a master document that you create for everybody. And then you're going to duplicate that to send it to your client. So then you're going to set it up for your specific client and send it over to them. All right. So you can put your name on here. You can take off practitioner if you don't want it. So here's a little place for you to write a welcome to them. Here's where you can put what to expect. So maybe you want them to know we're going to meet every week. Please be in a quiet, undisturbed space. Anything that you want them to know about your support, your communication expectations, what this container includes. This is just a good place to add like a bullet point of things that you want them to know. Okay, and then we have the start here section. I have given you guys a spot for a video, so you could do like a welcome video, download your welcome guide, next steps, so you could put your next steps in here. So as soon as they get this, they get what to expect, they get boundaries, they get communication, they get exactly what they can expect within this program. They can watch the welcome video. And also, you can delete it. If you don't want to give them a welcome video, all you have to do is delete it. So I have a space for a welcome video, your session journey. So if you're somebody who is offering multiple sessions, maybe it's a 4-week program, maybe it's a 12-week program, these are collapsible sections, and it's really cool. So basically, you can put in like your program image here. This is a sample for week 1 overview. We've got the video for week 1. We've got your resources that you can link in. Like I said, all you have to do is select it and then add your links. So you'd want to build this out for all of your things in your master document. I personally would drip out the content. So I personally would only be giving them the week that they're in. But lots of coaches do it in lots of different ways. So you could have all 12 of them and they step in and they have all of their content from the beginning. Maybe that's how you work, and you could just put it all in too. That's fine. So here, this is, you could put notes in here. You could let your client know that this is a spot for them to put notes on that session, that week. And I have built in 4 of them. It's really easy to copy. So all you have to do is copy it. And now we have week 5, right? Still collapsible. Oh, no, I forgot. When you are copying it, make sure it's open. Copy the whole thing. Paste. Okay, so now we've got week 5 and it includes everything. Bam. So when you're creating your new weeks, open it, copy it, paste it. Okay, so ongoing support. You can have this section for scheduled check-ins, bonus resources, important links. You could name it something else and use it for something else. This is just kind of set up for you to offer ongoing support. Like, so one of the things that I offer people that I'm working one-on-one with is access to me over text and messaging. So maybe I'd put exactly how to get in touch with me. We also have multiple forms people can do for feedback on their designs, feedback on their pages in Sacred Vision Society. So I would definitely put those there, right? So anything that that person might need for ongoing support. This is something that I think is really, really good. Oops. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Okay, I accidentally hit the play button. I have Speechify on my computer so I can listen to things. I love it. Okay, anyway, leave any questions that you have here. We can visit when we meet. I obviously can't open this. There we go. More space for questions. So this is a spot that your client can put questions. Maybe you can review their questions before you meet with them the next time. That way you're sort of prepared for any questions that they might have. This is for any additional notes that they might have. And you can also add sections, right? Let's say you're doing readings and things. Maybe you don't want this. Maybe instead of your session journey, maybe you want to do like your last reading insights. Something that I think would be really useful for readings is sort of this can give you a really good invitation for further readings, right? So let's say you're a tarot reader and you give them this portal and you say, I'm going to send you a portal. That portal is going to contain your reading. So you might put, instead of your session journey, your reading today, and then you could put an image of the reading itself. And then you could just delete all this and put a little breakdown. And then you could do your next reading. And then you could maybe even have like a link for them to schedule their next reading, or goals for your next reading or something like that, right? So it can almost be a place where you can bake in expectations to work together again. It's providing that value. It's something that they can see tangibly, they can look at, they can review again. Maybe you include replays of the reading. Like maybe you include like a video replay. Maybe you record your sessions. A lot of people do that. So you could put a link to the actual session replay. There's a lot of really cool things that you could do with this without having a 12-week program, right? So like I said, if you do have any specific use cases and you'd like me to build just this page out for you, I'd be more than happy to. Just request it in the SVS Creator Vault using this request a resource. Any questions about that, guys? I'll be honest, this is going over the top of my head. Yeah, I mean, this is, if you're somebody who's done a 12-week program, I think you're going to see exactly how useful this is going to be. But this is basically just something that you give to your clients that help them feel held, help them feel supported. You can include links, you can include images, you can include information, resources. So for example, on my one-on-one clients, I'm definitely going to have all of the links that I've shared with them. They share things like their messaging. They share things like we have to-do lists and to-do steps. So when I create this for my clients, I'm definitely going to have like a to-do list. Like these are your next steps. We always talk about next steps in our sessions. So you have to think about like, how do I work with people? What do they need? What would I want to provide to them? And how can I put it into this page, right? So that when I deliver it to them, it's a value add to their experience with working with me. Yeah. Well, and also just working with people and seeing like the resources you give out and the ongoing support. And this can also be a really good thing if you're going to be using something like this to ask about like, how can I increase the support that I'm giving? How can I add value to the clients that I have? How can I bake that value into this sort of client portal? So, like for those of you who work with me, this is your client portal, right? Everybody but those 3 one-on-one clients, actually they get this too. But this is your client portal, right? I'm giving you this. You can go in, you can access your trainings, you can access your resources. And this is like the portal that I'm giving you. A lot of you guys don't have that. So this Notion template can provide that to your clients as well, if that makes sense, James. Yes, they can. They can change the setup. They can totally mess it up. They can totally delete things. Yeah, they can. I don't know that there's a way to lock them from that. I mean, I think they can. Yeah, you would probably have to give them edit access. So I think there is. I think you can either give them edit access where they can edit it with you, or you can give them duplicate access where they can just duplicate it. I think there's two ways to do that. Any questions about that, guys? Anyway, I'm really excited not just to give this to you guys, but to use it myself, because like I said, the way that I've been working with people one-on-one is kind of like a rabid raccoon with this Word document and a bunch of links in it and to-do lists and check marks and stuff like this is going to look so much better. It's going to be much, much better. Any other questions, guys? Anything else you guys want to talk about while you have me here? Any questions at all about anything? I've finished my coffee now too. This is my last drink. It is totally cold now. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I had so much fun today. I've been loving playing with Notion. Like I said, I put all of my ideas into an idea vault. It's a bit rough, but I'm really excited about it. Yes, it is a bit of a learning curve. If you have any questions, feel free to, post in the groups and whatnot. Ask me if you're having any difficulties and questions. Also, AI has been a huge helper for me when it comes to, oh my God, I can't figure out how to do this. And like, oh my God, this is stuck. Like that problem that I was having with the vault being the offer and not knowing how to change that out. I've had little things like that happen. Usually switching to a table helps a lot with like weird things like that. Tables just seem to be a little bit easier to modify. So that's been helpful. Sometimes I still deal with like spacing issues. Like I'm trying to put something above something and it won't let me when I'm building. So I'm definitely a beginner as well. Did I not paste the worksheet? Oh, can you go over the worksheet? Yeah, let's do it. So it's very similar to the dashboard in that so first you're going to label it. And like I said, you can always copy it into multiple tabs. I love doing that. So I'll have like week, blah, 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 week, blah, blah, blah. All you have to do to copy a tab is just duplicate it. So you could start off with like the regular tab and then a copy. So that this could be like your blank one. And then each week you copy the blank and you put like week of 14, 15, March 16th, right? That's going to be the next Monday. So you have this sort of like your blank view. And then here you can say week of, date, one outcome. If this week only gets one hell yes win, what is that? So what moves your business forward? What is the one thing you want to accomplish this week? Maybe your one thing is just to finish the freebie. Maybe your one thing is to figure out why nobody's buying. Maybe your one thing is to figure out why nobody's upgrading, right? Like, what is the one thing that's really going to move your business? So this gives you like a guiding light, a compass, right? Your number one thing to think about. 3 moves. These 3 moves, these 3 things will help me make this outcome inevitable. So maybe you are looking at why is nobody converting? Okay, so I'm going to check my offer. Does it make sense? Does the pricing make sense? I'm going to check my positioning. Is it positioned in my offer suite properly? And I'm going to check my messaging, right? So these are the 3 things. So now you design your 3 moves based off of this one outcome, and you put those here. Momentum tasks, these are supportive moves. These are other things that might be, I personally use my momentum tasks as a parking lot for future power moves, but these are other helpful tasks that are going to move things forward. Admin, maintenance, this is all the stuff that you need to do this week. You can also, these are bullet points right now, but you can easily change these into checkboxes. So I need to update something that we do, right? Post events for the week. Right, so you can easily make them into checkboxes too, which I really like on my Google Docs. We've got offer focus. What are you actually supporting? Which offer? What's the action? Proof log. What did you complete? So you can take all of the tasks that you've done and you can put them here. Next week's, what's something that you're carrying forward to next week? This is kind of a good place to pause and ask like, okay, what went well? What didn't go well? What am I going to be doing next week? This is good to do like maybe next, like on the Friday. Notes and signals, wins, resistance, patterns, insights, something that you notice, right? Like I definitely love wins. It is so useful in your business to celebrate your wins. It's so easy to feel like I didn't accomplish anything when you always do. You always do, right? So celebrate your wins, put down your resistance. I noticed every time I wanted to, this is very relevant for me, anytime I wanted to create a video for Instagram, I found myself distracting myself with something else. A pattern. I hate working on this task in my business, right? Whatever it is, like just little things that you notice, put them here. Weekly closeout, what worked? What do you want to repeat next week? So it's just a really similar thing to what we're doing in our dashboard. We're just using a sheet to do it instead. It obviously doesn't hold and host all of our offers or promotions or things like that, but it's a way to track our moves, track our week, track our goals for the week, and to make momentum. I've been using AI a lot, even though I'm not keen on some generative AI. Yeah, I mean, I create a lot, and I would not be able to create what I do without it. At least not at the scale that I do. So I would consider myself a power user of AI. seasoned user of AI. Any other questions, guys? Yeah, like these two dashboards would have never been created if I wasn't using AI. There's no way I couldn't have done it without it. And it's not basic either. Like, so many people out there are making basic stuff with AI. They're not putting their heart and their soul into it. They're not asking, what does my client really need? They're just making whatever AI tells them to. There's a difference, and you can feel it in the products. You're so welcome, Vanessa. Alrighty, guys. Well, if you guys have any other questions, let me know. I will be going live again next Friday. I haven't created the event for it, but just so you know, if you're in the Facebook group, so this is on my YouTube. You can always see these live events, these public live events from my YouTube. If you're in the Facebook, I wanted to show you that I guess I probably can't come in from here. If you're in the Facebook group, I have created some guides so that you could find what you're looking for. So in the Facebook group, there's both business owners and tarot readers, people who are learning tarot and people who are starting and growing their businesses. This really reflects me, what I love, who I love, and who I serve. And so I wanted a way to like really make sure that you felt held, whether you were learning tarot or whether you are here for spiritual business. Some of you guys are both, right? So I created these two guides, Start Here, Tarot Beginners. Last week, I went live on Friday, Overwhelmed by Tarot. So that's in there. So as I'm doing these weekly lives that are public, they will be stored here. So this video right here that I'm talking to, the live, right, the replay of this live, hi Maria, is going to go here in Guide to Spiritual Business Owners. So over time, there will be several building up here in the guide. So you can always pop in here, by the way. If you're not in the group, it's Tarot Business and Sacred Power with Sunny. And I set these up last week so that I could store these weekly guides or these weekly videos. So next week I will be going live on Friday, and it will be tarot related. And then the week after that, I'm going to be talking about how to use the energy of spring in your business to help activate your clients and potential clients. So that's going to be in 2 weeks. I will post those events in the next few days, so keep your eyes out for them. And if you're in the SVS Creator Vault, I did post this video. So if you're in the vault, I've been trying to keep you updated. So if you're in the vault and you appreciate this, let me know. So I put Weekly Power Moves, this video right here, in here. And I actually put like a calendar invite because I don't have an event section for these students. But I did put a calendar invite in here so you can add it to your Google Calendar. And I will absolutely put the replay in there. I don't know how long it'll live in there. I also have some other video replays. We've got the bonus for the Quick Start Canva series. We've got how to use Bulk Create to create graphics. I don't know exactly how long these are going to live in here, to be honest. These sort of public videos that are available on my YouTube, but I felt like this was a really relevant topic for you guys. So you'll probably continue to see like things like this land in the Creator Vault space in Circle. These ones, by the way, they'll go away. Like we just added those 2 Notion dashboards. So eventually in the next few days, you'll see a new in the vault for everything that we've added in there. We have our drops on the 15th, which is, I think, a Sunday. So probably the drop will happen on the 16th of this month. And then you'll get a new in the vault post where you can review everything new. It'll look something like this. I just add all of the graphics for all of the new items. And also in the vault itself, you'll be able to find them here on the homepage. So we've been putting everything new in the vault. We just took everything from last month out and we added the 2 Notion dashboards in here. So they're really easy to get to, all the new stuff when the drop happens on the 15th. Any other questions about that, guys, before we wrap up? Yes, I knew you were live from the Facebook group and also had a Notion or notification for YouTube. Yeah, I'm currently live in 2 different places. You're welcome, guys. Alrighty, well, I'm going to wrap up then, and I will see you guys next week when we're talking about tarot. By the way, if there's anything that you would like for me to cover or talk about in the Facebook group, we do have a pinned post. Start here, tarot beginners and spiritual owners or business owners. I'll be starting weekly videos on Fridays at 11. Drop any topic you want below. By the way, there's some freebies in here too. In this post in the comment section, but all you have to do is comment here and I will be checking this often to see what topics you guys would like me to talk about, whether it's tarot or spiritual business owners. Just drop the topics in there and I've been checking it to see if you guys had anything you wanted. Alrighty, guys. Well, I'm going to hop off. Have a great day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.